demonstration, I'm going to show you the solution that we have built as a part of the MBA's Hack for Good. The solution that we have worked on is Donate for Good, and tagline goes as centralizing donations of the people for the people and by the people. A quick intro on our team. So this is the team. We have worked the team by the devs that has worked on the solution, and I'll quickly go through the problem statement that we have been working on. So the problem statement goes as like the government has sanctioned rations for the COVID-19 and the pandemic situation. The government has sanctioned enormous funds, but it is not appropriately reaching the person or the down level people or the actual needful people who need that help. And general population like me and my neighbors who wanted to go and donate something, we couldn't do that because of the lockdown and the quarantine. So I mean, most people have been facing the same issues that they want to donate but they are not able to because of the lockdown and the quarantine that is going on. And there are NGOs and organizations that are working with ground delivery staff who have permissions to go to these remote areas or to the areas where people actually need help from police protection and with help from the local authorities. But then the problem they are facing is they're not having ample or they're not having enough donations that are coming in so that they can go and distribute the same. So to tackle that, we have built this solution using Power Platform that allows donors to create the request on a portal, and then that is carried back to a data source, and the NGO folks can track it from their backend and reach to the donation people who want to actually donate these, collect the items from them, and take it to the people who are in need. So the solution is sitting on the top of a CDS database, which we are using as a data source to store our data. A user on the front can interact with three different mediums to create their request. One using the Power Apps portal, using a Microsoft Forms form, or using a Power Virtual Agent. This data is processed using Power Apps and Flow to write back to the CDS. And at the end of the day, the NGO can track and analyze this data using Power BI reports that we have created. Moving forward, we have this data model that we have created as entities on the for the model driven app, and we have a donations entity where we are tracking the name of the or basically the items that a person wants to donate. We are tracking the donor by relating the record to the contact entity, and then we are tracking pickup executives as individual users from the users entity of the organization. And on this donations entity, we are also requesting the user to enter or the donor to enter the details such as when the items are going to expire, what is their address from where a pickup executive can come and collect the items. There are as discussed, there are three mediums from where a user can create a donation request. So let's go ahead and see the first one, which is the Power Apps portals. So a donor can come and register themselves on our Power Apps portal over here. And once registered, they can log in every time and create their donation request. A portal can be also used for creating donation requests on behalf of other neighbors who are not able to directly or who are not so tech enabled and are not aware of the solution, and they cannot create requests over here. So a person can create on behalf of them. This is a problem that I have been personally facing where me and a couple of my neighbors wanted to go and donate some things in a few areas, but then due to the quarantine and the lockdown, we could not do that. So once a user is registered over here, they can customize their profile and save it. And once the profile is saved, they can come and click on this button to click here to contribute and add the details of the items that they want to donate. So for example, let's say I'm entering 2 kgs of rice, a little bit of milk and bread and eggs over here, and add some notes, like can you please come and pick up this at so and so time, and this is the address, or any other notes or comments that they want to add over here. And add the contact number, the address, and zip code, which will be used further by Bing Maps in the next part of our solution to track the location of the donor and then send a pickup executive to them. And we are also tracking the best before, preferred date, and preferred slot so that we have enough information to go and collect the donation from the donor. Now, once this is done, it creates a record on the model-driven app, which can further be assigned to a particular pickup executive that can be done on the back end or from the Canvas app, which we will be talking about in the further part of the solution. Now that we have completed this one, let's go ahead and see what other medias we have created to create a donation request. We can do that from an MS form as well. So if someone didn't want to go to the entire portal from their computers, they can directly access the forms on their mobile screen, and they can fill up the form over here. Apart from forms, we also have a powerful virtual agent that a person can use to create a new request. But the virtual agent offers more. a person can come and track their previous donation request, what is the current status of that. They can also cancel a request that they have created for any reason that might have occurred at the last moment. So let's go ahead and see this in action now. As you can see again on the forms form, I'm entering the name, email address, and the details as we did in the previous portal app. Once all the details are here, we'll be saving it on the CDS. Once the details are saved, it also sends an email to the user or to the donor by a unique ID, which is a three-digit string followed by a unique identifier of four digits, and the user can use that to track the request later on. Once this is done, we are here on the Power Virtual Agent now to track a previous request. So let's go ahead and do that. And as I was talking earlier, that once you create a donation request, it sends a unique ID with an email to you. So once we have this unique ID, it can be used for tracking or deleting a previous request from the chatbot. Here I'm tracking a previous request and it requests me to enter the donation ID. So once you enter the donation ID, it is going to authenticate you using an OTP, which will be sent to your registered email address. So using Power Automate, we are sending an email to the registered email address of the donor, stating that this is the OTP that you have to enter to move further with the conversation on the bot. So once I enter this OTP ID, it is going to get the status or the latest status of the of my donation request and display it on the bot. So as you can see, once the authentication code or the OTP has been sent, it authenticates it using Power Automate again and then sends the latest status of the item. Now, once that is done, I can also cancel a request using the similar schema. So I'll again enter my donation ID and then it will ask me to authenticate. Once I have authenticated successfully, Once I have authenticated successfully with the OTP, it is going to cancel my request by setting the cancelled status on the model-driven app for the record. So if I go back to the model-driven app, I can see the record with the status as, okay, the user has requested to cancel this item. Now, this is the way where you can create these requests. But now let's go ahead and see, I mean, on the model-driven app, that how the requests can be seen on the backend. So we have created multiple views for different status reasons and different, I mean, based on different filters, such that the backend users can check out all these donation requests and act accordingly on that. And then finally, there is the Canvas app for the field agents or the field pickup executives who are actually working on the field. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the Canvas app is working. On the Canvas app again, we have a home screen where the user can see a pickup near me. So this pickup near me is going to show all the records which are in the 5 kilometer radius of the current location for the user who has logged into the app. And then my pickups is the one where the user can see the pickups which they have opted to pick up. And they can select an individual item and say, okay, assign to me. This is going to show every time they select a pickup or every time they select a donation, it is going to show their current location and the place where the pickup needs to be where the items need to be picked up from, and show a route of that particular area with the distance, saying that okay, this is the place where you have to go and pick up the items. Once it has been assigned, the user can see it in my pickups, and then they can click the individual item, and it will render a map showing that okay, you are currently here and this is the address from where you have to pick up this item from. So it is taking a little while to load this map, but as you can see on the screen, there are two location points. One is for the current user, and the other one is from where they have to pick up the item. And it's like once you are in 50-meter radius of the person who's donating and your current location, then only the button will pop up saying that okay, the item has been picked up. Once a person adds the item has been picked up, they can take an image of the items they have picked up and add a note as a delivery note, and then confirm the pickup of the donation. And this image on the back end goes and is attached to the model driven app form that can be viewed by the backend users. So this was for the field agents of for viewing the or for acting and going and collecting the pickups from the donors. Now we have this Power BI report that can be used by the backend people or by the NGO or the organization to view the stats. The first one is a map that is showing points or dots from where the donations are coming, and based upon this, the NGO can make their people more active in particular areas. And we are also filtering this report to view charts by donation per request. And we have a word cloud over here for most items that people are donating right now and things like that. So the Power BI report can further be built to create meaningful charts so that the data can be visualized appropriately. So this was about our solution on the donation and donate for good. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much.